Creve Coeur District 76 Board of Education meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please.
Giddens. Here. Hagel. Here. Captain Reagan. Val Reagan. Tyler. Here. Reiner. Here. Bailey.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is the mission of Creve Coeur School District 76 in partnership with Home and Community for all students to obtain the necessary knowledge, skills, and self-motivation to become lifelong learners, socially responsible citizens, and active participants in their ever-changing world. Vision. In keeping with the mission statement, Creve Coeur School District 76 will provide students with access to current curriculum and the tools necessary to enable them to become confident lifelong learners.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. Does the audience have any comments regarding the action items on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the action items. We need a motion for payments list.
I make the motion to approve the payments list dated August 4th, 2016.
Second.
Any questions? Comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Hagel. Aye. Tyler.
Aye.
Reiner. Aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion regarding the library agreement.
I'll make
I'll make the motion to accept the agreement between the Creve Coeur School District 76 Board of Education and the Creve Coeur Public Library as presented.
Second.
Okay, questions or comments?
I did meet with Greg the other day, and we hammered out, basically, he found the contract, we upped it from $1,000 per year to $1,400. That's kind of what we talked about last time. And he also put in there, students can bring the books home. I think it's number 10, says materials checked out on the student card can go home. Did put a little note in there, but if the student incurs a fine of over $1 or has lost materials on that account, the books check out must stay at school. So the kids that are abiding, turning in the books, getting everything back in time, those students can definitely bring books home. And I think we're going to keep a good eye on that.
I did chat and email with the board president. She was going to get back to me before the end of the week, and they haven't had a meeting.
They're meeting tonight.
Oh, they are? Okay. So if we wish to approve this and they choose not to, then we're back at the drawing board. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Hagel. Aye. Tyler.
Aye.
Reiner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. All right, we need a motion for the tentative budget.
I'll make the motion to adopt Resolution 16-04. Be it resolved by the Board of Education of Creve Coeur School District 76, County of Tazewell, State of Illinois as follows. Section 1, that the budget as heretofore prepared by Superintendent Mr. Tony Wiston is hereby approved as a tentative budget only in the form attached hereto and made a part hereof. Section 2, that the said tentative budget shall be made available in such tentative form to public inspection for at least 30 days prior to final action thereon. Section 3, that notice of the availability of said tentative budget for public inspection shall be given by publication in the Pekin Daily Times, being a newspaper published or circulated in the school district. Section 4, that a public hearing shall be held as to such tentative budget on the 27th day of September 2016 at the hour of 6 p.m. at the Litchfield Building located at 400 North Highland Avenue in the village of Creve Coeur, County of Tazewell, State of Illinois. Adopted this 9th day of August 2016.
Second.
Discussion. Miss Shelley,
Miss Bailey.
would you like to give us kind of a short presentation of the first page so that we all understand it? If that's okay with you?
Do that. Of course, this is estimated.
You can come up here if you would rather. You don't have to yell that way.
Okay. Of course, this is estimated. As you know, we do our best to guess as accurately as we can, but things change on a daily basis, so.
Absolutely.
We try to plan ahead. So it just kind of gives you an estimated reserve balance as of June 30th. That is of course unaudited. Our audit is at the end of this month. Looks like we have about 7 million. The estimated revenue is just a little over 7 million, 7.85. And then the expenses we're estimating over 8 million, which gives us approximately a deficit, spending of 837,000.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to really watch everything and cut down on the spending. So,
Yeah.
didn't
I was just
mean to
gonna say, no,
interrupt
that's an estimate. Hopefully it's not that bad, but I did include this year, I haven't done it in the past, just a little summary at the bottom that shows our actual deficit spending, so, and a lot of it's because of the reduction in revenue is
you.
really,
Right, because we're getting cut.
Over-
Title
yeah.
I,
yeah,
state.
reduction in general state aid and other transportation, that was a big hit. So there's a lot of things that are out of our control, but just wanted to demonstrate, what we're actually doing.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Okay, board members, do you have any questions?
I only have one, and on the budget and the detailed account code listings. It's in here, page 9 of 22. And it's in the education fund under summer school. Everybody there? Okay, the reason because the board did this last year, and I don't know what the board wants to do. We had asked to add to the budget of summer school. So if we wanted to have it, it was already in the budget, we didn't have to go do amending and do everything else. We just wanted to have it ready. And then, as a reminder, to start doing everything else that we had to follow that year, and not let this get lost in the system.
Right.
And I don't know what, I would like to see it again in the budget, just like we did last year, and approach it the same way we did last year. But again, the administrators are going to tell us how the children are doing, if it's going to be beneficial to have it, what are we going to offer and things like that. Last year, why it wasn't was because we didn't have enough students sign up for it, to explain it. After this year rolls, I hope everything is better. But for the students that need help, parents want the help, it'll be available.
I'm hoping after the changes we've made with doing 2 blocks of English, language arts, and 2 blocks of math, that it won't be needed. But I do see what you're saying, we aren't gonna know.
Since we're getting interest this year, I doubt that there will be any next year.
It's true too. That is very true.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt anything to put it in, but I can't.
It's an estimate, as you guys know, it's an estimate, so you can, like Randy said, you can earmark it.
But
If you don't need it, you don't have to.
attitude all the way around, maybe it's something that we could estimate for, as the year progresses, if we don't feel it's needed, we can take it out.
Well, we didn't even take it out, it saved the budget, but it didn't hurt anything because we didn't use it. Where you have a problem is if you're spending money that you didn't budget, you can only go up to 10% over it. And when you start exceeding that, then the auditor starts calling you.
Right.
He's got that right.
Yeah,
He-
it's an easy fix,
The
it's
consensus
obviously.
of the board, would you like to put it in?
We can do either way.
You can always put it in, then it's there.
It's good to have it just in case.
Right. And then reevaluate it when we get closer. See how the year's going. Okay. Anything else?
I also wanted to ask, on page 8 of the same report, I know we talked about before about possibly adding another support maybe.
That's back in contract though.
Okay.
It's gotta be contract first.
All right, I didn't know if it does go through, if we still have to do anything with this.
I don't think that would not increase it by 10%, so
Okay,
you'd be okay.
I just wanna make sure we
Okay.
still followed up with that.
Right, okay. And I also asked, I emailed her last night, I'll share with everyone, about the United Way. Because I saw the expenses, but I didn't see it coming in the revenues, and she said they just received word that we will get some, so. 16.
16,000. So I will be adding that to the revenue side.
Okay, so before the final budget, you'll be making any adjustments you can then, or?
Yes, and this can be done either way, however the board would like to proceed. I can make the changes, we can bring it to the August 23rd meeting, you can see it in its entirety, and then approve the tentative then. Or you can approve it with these changes, and then it goes on, or on display for 30 days. And then on the September 27th meeting, you can still make changes during that period as long as you, normally what we've done in the past, I should say, is we just highlight those changes. And it's just usually a list of
Right,
if something comes up.
I'm good with that. Just like we've
Whatever,
done in the
However,
past.
however you
Yeah.
guys want to do that, but
Right.
there's different options there.
Right. So you're gonna be updating it all along.
Right.
Right. I'm
It's,
good with
it's the September 27th that is final and gets submitted. When the
It's a
board
done
has
deal.
that, and there's a hearing, it's a done deal, and that's what's submitted.
that. Mr. Giddens, any more questions?
No, because I know we've still got another year if we had to make changes.
That's good. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Appreciate your hard work.
And Shelley, excellent job. I think one thing I'd like to say is, I think there's not a person in this room that manages their checkbook like having 800,000 or dollar loss in a year. I think we're all pretty good financial people. You wouldn't want to run your house like this. I know the school and a house is a little bit different, but it's a concern to me. You know, we have money coming in, we're estimating 7.2 million, we're gonna spend 8, so 800,000 plus, we're spending too much, I guess. So that's,
Right.
I think the taxpayers would be concerned about that. I think our employees are pretty much hired, our teachers are hired for this year. I think it's something our administration will look at. I hate to say, you know, I wish we were we had money to spend and we were adding things, but, you know, it could be a year, we definitely will look at what's important, what are our numbers, how many kids we have. You know, first thing about summer school, Randy, I would say is, what's it gonna cost us? You know, that's the first thing I'm gonna say is, you know, I know we had 2 nice little summer school, we had the grant to pay for mix of the elementary LaSalle science, a week of science, and then I actually got to watch some of the circus, the kids, that was really neat to see the kids up early at it. We're one of the few schools, probably the only school that offers that, so if we can pay for summer school, great. I think everything now looks like, well, can it pay for itself? If it can, we'd love to have it. Thank you. Principals, anything to say? Budget?
Roll call, please.
Giddens,
Aye.
Table, Tyler, Reiner, Bailey.
Motion carried. Okay, we need a motion regarding the cell phone policy. Mr. Giddens, would you like to make that one?
Sure. I'll make the motion to approve the motion to suspend policy number 7:190:001, electronic device and personnel property.
A second?
Second.
Discussion? This is conflicting with the handbook and the new, well, no, it's not. It's conflicting with the new policy that we just adopted. So we need to suspend this one, bring this one back to committee if you would. Okay, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Giddens,
Aye.
Table, Tyler, Reiner, Bailey.
Motion carried. I need a motion regarding the second reading and adoption.
I'll make the motion to approve the second reading and adoptions of policies 3:50, superintendent, 3:50, administrative personnel other than superintendent, 3:60. Administrative responsibility of building principals, 4:45. Insufficient fund checks and debt recovery, 5:40. Communicable and chronic infectious disease, 5:120. Ethics and conduct, 5:180. Temporary illness or temporary incapacity, 5:330. Sick days, vacations, holidays, and leave, 6:40. Curriculum development, 2:160. Board attorney, 2:260. Uniform grievance procedure, 4:50. Payment procedures, 5:50. Drug and alcohol-free workplace, tobacco prohibition, 5:170. Copyright, 5:270. Employment at will, compensation and assignment, 5:290. Employment, termination, and suspension, 6:140. Education of homeless children, 7:10. Equal education opportunities, 7:40. Non-public school students, including parochial and homeschooled students, 7:220. Bus conduct, 7:260. Exemption from physical activity, 7:310. Restrictions on publications, 7:325. Student fundraising activities, 7:90. Release during school activities, 8:10. Connection with the community, and 8:80. Gifts to the district.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. No questions? Roll call.
Gibbons,
Aye.
Cagle,
Aye.
Catherine Reagan,
Abstain.
Val Reagan, Tyler,
Aye.
Reiner,
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion regarding the adoption of APs.
I'll make the motion to adopt administrative policies, 4:175. AP1, criminal offender notification laws, screening, 5:120. AP1, statement of economic interest for employees, 5:220. AP, substitute teachers, 6:15. AP, school choice and supplement educational services, 6:120. AP1, special education procedures, assuring the implementation of comprehensive programming for children with disabilities, 6:170. AP3, no child left behind checklist, 2:260. AP1, guidelines for investigating complaints and allegations of misconduct, 5:170. AP4, designation of district digital Millennium Copyright Act agent, registration process, 6:140. AP, educational of homeless children, 7:190. AP5, and this is on the electronic devices, and 7:190. AP6, guidelines for investigating sexting allegations.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions? Roll call.
Gibbons,
Aye.
Cagle, Catherine Reagan,
Aye.
Val Reagan,
Aye.
Tyler,
Aye.
Reiner,
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding exhibits. Mr. Giddens.
I'll make the motion to adopt administrative exhibits, 5:120. 2:20E, Code of Ethics for Illinois Educators. 2:160E, Checklist for Selecting a Board Attorney. 4:170, AP6-E1, School Staff AED Notification Letter. 6:15E, Resolution declining request to accept non-resident choice students. 7:325E, application and procedures to involve students in fundraising activities. 8:30E1, letter to parent regarding visits to the school by child sex offenders. And 8:30E2, child sex offenders request for permission to visit school properties.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Edens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Reiner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Written communications? Reminders of upcoming events. Again, reminding you, the picnic for all employees hosted by the unions is scheduled for August 13th at 1 o'clock at the Ashburn Pavilion. Bring a dish. Thank you. The first day of school for the students is Wednesday, August 17th. I'll let the principals do their specific upcoming events in their schools. And the Central Illinois Valley Division meeting is Thursday, September 22nd at the East Peoria Central. So we could get a tour of the new school additions. Okay. Presentations and suggestions by board members. Does anybody have anything?
I have a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, it's not a question.
I just, about the generator, I did go through and there was one thing interesting. When do we need that and who got interested?
I would say wait till the next meeting and we'll take a vote, and then we'll have Stephanie make the reservations for them.
I probably might have building the grounds.
All right, you notice in your packet you have the minutes from the ad hoc committee. And we had another meeting last night. I'm sure we'll get minutes next time. I added here, and I want to know what the board thinks about this. It's a suggestion for the board to start receiving the minutes and treasurer's reports from both the student council and the parent club. Is that something the board would like to have?
I thought we had to ask before.
Well, I'm just, for this year, let's put it out there again. So,
She's asking to put it on the agenda so that it doesn't slip
Yeah.
through.
Oh.
I'd like to have it put on the agenda the end of the month. It doesn't have to be on both. But that way it doesn't slip by and the administrators can get us the minutes and the treasurer's report. So we can kind of keep an eye on it. And they're doing a heck of a job for us. We need to recognize it.
For student council and parents club?
Yes.
Okay.
Does anybody else have a suggestion for future meetings? Reports from the administration. Mr. Liston, what would you like to report?
We'll let my principals talk, because what I want to say, probably, I don't want to overshadow what they've done, so maybe just start off with, we'll start off with junior high this time.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Starting to warm up a little bit, isn't it? A little humid outside. Did everyone get a copy of the administrative report last week? What, awesome, good. Very,
We
was
think
awesome.
it's very awesome.
well, okay, well, good.
We like that.
Well, good.
Very detailed.
Very,
We're just in awe. Okay, does anyone else have anything to say about his report? We'll let him finish.
very briefly, the Math Division 2.0 update, we did get the activation training. That did take place on July 29th. We have the majority of the resources in. We just have a few odds and ends that are still out there, so to speak. They're scheduled to ship on September 22nd. We have a 5th grade math Common Core DVD. 4 of those are scheduled to ship. 2 7th grade teacher packages, 2 8th grade teacher packages, and then 4 2017 5th grade math DVDs. But the majority of the program we've received, so I think the staff's excited about using that program. Elevator update. Dries Brothers did complete their work, and the sump pump, Mr. Wilson and I talked about that sump pump a little bit, and one of the things that they did on the top of that sump pump, there's a cap. They drilled some holes in that cap, and the plumbers communicated that they thought that by having those holes in the top of that cap, that's going to help the water get back into that, in the bottom of that pump area. So that should help with the moisture. So they've completed their work. Serpro came out, they did their work. And really the only thing we're waiting on right now is the concrete. We have a portion of the sidewalk that it's been excavated, I believe. We just need a portion of concrete out
You
there.
want me to talk to the board about that?
Sure.
When they drew up the specs on this elevator project, they said they were gonna knock out a 3-foot by 5-foot section of concrete. The reason they were gonna do that was they were gonna have to bury the sump pump line underneath the sidewalk. After we looked at it, there's a lot of sidewalk, I don't know, a lot of sidewalk, 20 feet, 15 feet by 5 maybe, at least 3 times the amount of the base, maybe if we're gonna do 3 by 5, we'd probably have a 6 by 15, something like that. There's a lot, and the concrete all slopes to the building, that was the problem. And it still slopes to the building. So I got 2 bids. We had our, with prevailing wage, I got a bid from Toby. His bid was $3,000 to finish the concrete. I also got another guy, information's on my desk, but he actually did, he's a concrete person, very confident. Matter of fact, the people that were doing the sump pump also contacted him. They said, this is more concrete than we can do, would you do it? And he actually found a good as the part said, I'll do it for $2,000. Seems like all of it has to be broke up, has to have some gravel compacted underneath it, and then they have to pour the concrete. But asked him if he could absolutely have it done by the start of school. He said he would try if the board wants to go with him. But we've got some concrete busted up right now. There's a 3-foot by 5 feet piece that's probably not even that big. It's cut. The rest of it needs to be broke up and a new slab poured right there. So it's going to cost us $2,000, but I think we have to do it. I'd love to try it, but I don't think I know enough about concrete. I don't think anybody else in this room does.
Can we get it fixed right so it's not slanting so
Yeah,
I
bad?
think that's what
Okay.
we had talked
Yeah,
about.
and they actually, we looked at it, these people looked at the building, they said, for some reason, the sidewalk was connected to the school, it had rebar coming out from the school, and they said, it should not be done that way. They also gave us some advice on, even the front of the building, they said, needs a little bit of dirt up against the building. They said water, a little bit of water's coming toward the building, and you need to get a little bit of dirt in the front of the building to keep the water going away from the building. Water's not good, as you know, so you want to get rid of it.
I would say go ahead and do that. Everyone's shaking their head yes, so.
Great, okay, very good. Surveillance system, the surveillance technologies, they are continuing to install the surveillance system, and they're just about finished with the work. They should be done by the end of the day tomorrow, so that'll be nice to have in the building. So they're moving right along. A recess area, talk a little bit about student council, you all were. Student council, they have purchased 2 new tetherball poles, and we're going to plan on put those in the grassy area just off of the basketball court area. It's an open area to where the students can use those 2 tetherball sets. And then also the swing set. Mrs. Conway and I, we've been talking about the swing set. Now the swing set hasn't been ordered yet. I think I may have misspoke earlier in the report. That was my fault. I didn't have the accurate information. So anyway, what we're doing is we contacted a provider to look at the purchase of a swing set. Don't have a price yet, but we've also asked the provider to provide a cost for installation as well. So we don't have that information yet, so once we have that information, we'll update the board, keep the board updated on that as well. And we have a location picked out as far as actually installing the swing set as well. So we're excited about that. And then we have 2 park benches. Mr. Wiss and I have talked about, I believe Mr. Bachler ordered at some point last fall. We pulled those out of storage, so we have those, and we're we're hopeful of getting those set up properly as well, and some concrete. Do you want to talk about the parking lot? or
Sure.
do
You want me to?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay. I could let you talk, because you've got the bid if you want to, but I can kind of.
We've been doing, because the summer crew's been doing, they've been working hard this summer, and I feel that we've got a lot accomplished this year, maintaining the building. One of the things that Mr. West and I have been talking about is the parking lot. We've looked at the parking lot. I don't know if that lot, you'll know better than what we do, but I don't know if that lot has been sealed before. One of the things that I've always been told is that a parking lot should be sealed, approximately every 5 years. And if that's done, sealing the lot should help extend the lifetime of the parking lot. So we did receive an estimate from City Coal and Asphalt. It does include prevailing wages. We asked them to provide an estimate for cleaning and sealing, and also for striping the lot as well, put some parking spaces in. And that estimate, the square footage was 28,058 square feet. Their estimate came in at $2,805. And that's something that Mr. West and I wanted to throw out to the board. I understand the budget, just heard the report on the tentative budget, but we're trying to maintain the building as well, and we wanted to bounce this off of the board to see, what the board's reaction to this would be, to what are the, are there some thoughts on moving forward with sealing, or how does the board feel about that?
I can tell you it has not been done in the last 5 years, and I would really question the last 10. So it's probably way past time.
We're-
Doesn't it, if you seal it, it maintains it better, so you don't have to.
May end up costing
Replace
us a lot more next year, or
I think it would really look nice, because what will happen is it'll turn the blacktop black. And then when you put the yellow stripes on there, it's really gonna, I think when people come visit, they'll have ball games, we have parents in for parent.
Look at the pizza place. That helps since they sealed it and put the stripes on it.
And I did check with some people, I know some people, some close friends or sealers, and they said, we wouldn't do it for that. They said there's no way.
so that was a
Good
good estimate.
bid. It was a good bid.
Consensus of the board? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Giddens?
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I know I've heard of the board even thinking, okay, are we spending too much money? But I think as far as maintenance of the buildings, we haven't really done any big projects this time. I think the big projects are the cameras, the LaSalle, Parkview, that's a big project. I know we put our own tile down at Parkview. We did the shrubs, the landscaping, but we did that ourselves. So I think spend that would be money well spent. And I'm anxious to see how it does, what doesn't get sealed, what it looks like, and what it looks like after a year or two.
Right, just if I could clarify, the board used, there's two estimates. The estimate we're talking about is the main lot.
Parking only.
Just for as an informational item on the back page, that's what it would cost if you ever want to do the basketball court, have the basketball court lined. So, I mean, that is what that would actually.
We're not asking.
We're just asking for the parking lot to be striped, so.
You have a consensus to yes.
Great, and with that being said.
Parking lot only.
Okay, great. City Coal, we just talked to them recently, and big thing this week is the weather. They have cleared, with your approval, they have cleared their schedule, and they said as long as we don't get a lot of rain this week, they can get it done this week. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that they need one full day to get it done. So we'll hope we don't get a lot of rain, so. And then maintenance, like I said, the summer crew's been working hard. They have retiled 2 classrooms. Mrs. Sponholz's room is completed, and they just finished today Mrs. O'Neill's classroom. So that tile's down, and they've scrubbed it. They've put 1 layer of wax on that. They have 3 more coats of wax to put on tomorrow. But they've really got that job. They completed those 2 rooms efficiently. And Jason, I think, has been he's ramrodded that, so to speak, and he's done a pretty good job, so.
About the baseball team, update on the baseball team, how many kids we got
We,
and how much have they been practicing? I haven't been down there much to see.
well, I think we had, I don't have those numbers in front of me.
18
I
kids
think
go
we
out.
had I think we had 18 students that actually went out, and I believe that we had 12 to make the team. 11 or 12 to make the team, and they're still practicing right now. They had the parent meeting last night, and I think we opened the season on Saturday. We're at Monroe School on Saturday. We actually opened the season, so a little bit of information about the baseball.
Thank you.
And then the only other, I have a tentative report on enrollment. Now, this is tentative. We're still opening, we haven't quite opened the school year, but these are some rough numbers. Okay, this is as of today, and actually this was as of this morning, and we had 5 new students today, so these numbers are already outdated. Things really change quick. So anyway, if we look at the tentatively, 5 through 8 enrollment, if we started school tomorrow, we'd be looking at 258 students enrolled. And then we also broke this down per grade level, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th grade, the tentative homeroom class sizes. Now I will say, at the 8th grade level, we're still looking at some class sizes right now, and we're still tweaking that, because I think last year we had a class or two that was, we may have been just over 30 students per class, and that's a little high. So we're still working with those numbers and trying to make those more manageable. And then the last page also contains the projected 2016 and 17 caseloads. So that is as an FYI as well. So that's pretty much all I have tonight.
Eligibility.
Yes.
Want to talk about that a little bit? Or I can. Okay, our board policy that we just adopted recently conflicts with the handbook. It's twice we've done that. Handbook says a D, and the new policy that we adopted says C. Is that correct, or C minus?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think we need to give our principal some direction of what the board wants, or how we make a decision. I mean,
I would say go with policy and send a letter out to each parent.
policy usually supersedes.
What one is policy D or
No,
C?
Policy is C,
Okay,
and I would assume that would go down to a C minus
Right.
right.
instead of a D. So,
Meaning that if a kid has a D,
they're not
they're
playing.
not playing.
Which is higher expectations than IESA, is that correct?
Right.
Yeah,
But I think that was our intent when we changed the policy, because they have stricter rules.
I think some people might argue that sports keeps kids, when they're in sports, they're more engaged, that's not the word I'm looking for. When they're in sports, they have a tendency to keep their grades up better. Sometimes when kids aren't on the team, they're gonna say, what the heck. Not that the kids come to school to play sports, but I think that's been well documented in lots of studies that kids participating in activities will have better grades. My question is, we have 12 kids on the baseball team, we come up with 3 of them with Bs, we have 8 kids on the baseball team.
and we ran into that last year.
But why only put 11 kids on the team? I mean, we know we have the eligibility issue. No one's limited it to 11, they could put 59.
True.
And because you need 9 to play, so even if 2 kids get hurt or sick, I think,
We're cutting it really close.
they cut it close already. I mean, we didn't set that standard.
The IESA's policy is it's a local decision. I called Steve Ansel, we talked a little bit today, and it's a local board decision. So their stance, IESA stance is, no pass, no play. And in some schools, it may be, you have to make a C minus. Some schools, it may be a D.
B minus.
So it's really, the preference is a local decision. So we're just trying to curtail any problems as we start the
Absolutely.
year, so we can, we're not on a different page, so.
And stick with whatever we decide.
Do you have a preference?
No, not really. I don't. I can go, I will support either way. You know, I think it's a preference of the board. I mean, D, my feeling is we'll have more students participate. If that's the stance, if we have a C minus, I think it may be harder for some of the lower performing students to make. But I think either way, I can support either way, so.
How many times do they have it in the policy? How many times if they make have it less than a C, is it like 3 times or?
3 times during the
times.
season, if they're
Three times
eligible, then they would be
Okay.
removed from the team.
That's what I thought it was.
That's 3 weeks though.
Right.
But the problem is we did it last year, and it's hard to, if we flip-flop, I don't think it's
C last year.
yeah.
We did?
I thought it was C last
We
year.
changed the policy. to
It
set
wasn't,
the
it
C.
wasn't the whole year though. It wasn't, not every teacher observed that the whole year.
Right, and then we made the police,
No, the principal observed it. She looked every time.
I know, but not every teacher observed that last year. That's what our issue was.
And no matter what we do, I would recommend that everybody get there, because that's
Yes.
what's gonna make it solid.
and it was, I think if they had a D, they would participate, because it's like,
Okay.
play.
Do we want to hold the C then?
I'm fine with that, and just clarification, not just sports,
Everything,
all extra.
yes.
And we-
Extra and co-curricular.
Yes. And we need to send out maybe a letter to the parents that this is a policy, that that's the only reason why I said that, since it was
Okay.
already in the right.
So down to C minus,
minus.
C minus, okay.
So like our baseball team, you want to have more than 11 or 12, because like somebody mentioned sickness and eligibility, but all of a sudden our team doesn't get to play.
And you probably might.
You might want to go with a bigger team.
I don't think we ordered enough uniforms, did we?
I don't know.
I thought- Well, we asked them about that, and they said not enough kids try out, so that's all we wanted to order. That's what was supposed to say. And they said they don't cut the team, cut people, because not enough kids try out.
But we can't assume that our kids aren't gonna step up to the challenge of getting a C or higher either, so.
I think it's more like illnesses and sprained ankles and broken arms and stuff.
Okay.
C minus, it sounds like.
C minus it
Okay.
is.
Okay, thank you for that.
C minus or that way, right? Sorry, we have at least a C minus.
C minus.
And I think the only thing we need to do, Steve, is make sure, and I'm sure they've already talked about that, is I think C minus, what they were going with, the players know that now, and I'm sure
Absolutely.
coaches can do.
Okay.
That's for music, and I was gonna
Yes.
clarify,
Right.
that's for
Every,
plays and
PE.
everything.
everything.
No, not PE.
Not the-
That's for
Is
the
it the
play,
core? That's what I'm saying,
that's
is
for
it?
play and everything.
They're playing.
Oh,
But
oh,
she-
Steve,
I'm
yeah.
Fifth
talking,
grade field
I'm talking,
trip,
is it only
everything,
core
right?
Subjects.
Core subjects, or is it PE,
Oh, I don't
is it
know.
Good question,
band?
good question.
I don't know how the policy reads.
I think it's core,
Core subjects.
so it's only the core subjects.
Okay.
That's been an issue in the past.
But should we send out a letter to all the kids in the
It could be addressed in those parent meetings,
Right,
and maybe just make sure the baseball parents are notified.
right. That way everyone knows.
Mr. McCormick?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right, let's see. Want to give you an update on our speech rooms, which were only flooded
January.
7 months ago. Okay. We do have a contractor in there. Walls have been fixed. The walls have been painted. The drop ceiling was installed. Today, the lights and electrical were finished up. The HVAC is hooked back up. So we anticipate carpet being installed in the next day or two, and a few little items cleaned up and being good to go by next week.
Wow, that's great.
Great.
So,
Took them a while to get started, but once they got started,
I will say, Schindler Brothers, I think is Schindler Builders, has been real good to work with. Work looks great, so no complaints there.
Any idea why we didn't choose them to begin with? I'm just curious.
No, no.
As far as the building goes, just a little update on that. We've got the rooms all finished up, just again tidying up a few little loose ends and picking up a few of the items from the walkthrough that we did back in May. The hallways are in the process of being completed, always kind of the last step. I do want to give kudos to Kelly and Bobby, because right now they're the only two who are working, so I'm a little short-staffed, but they're working hard and getting everything finished up. Mr. Whiston alluded before to the front entrance being cleaned up, and got a lot of nice compliments on that. I hope you guys agree with that too. A couple of you stopped by and saw us out there, all out there sweating. Thankfully it wasn't
Looks like
too
you were
hot.
enjoying it.
And if you haven't noticed it before, on the corner of the building, closest to the library over there, we did move the commemorative stone from the back where it was hidden in the weeds and the grass and everything up there for Mr. Castleman. And although it kind of commemorates the baseball field, since there really isn't a baseball field anymore, it can be seen and observed now. As far as class numbers, I know you asked for them, I didn't do a printout for you, I apologize. But right now, we're looking at 321 students enrolled, with several more still trickling in. We're spaced out pretty evenly, ECE starting with 9, which is pretty typical. Kindergarten has 64. First grade is 60. Second grade is 61. Third grade's our lowest with 56, although it may be a couple higher than last year, because I think that's been our low group going through. And fourth grade is our highest with 71. I have two items left for you. First is a question, because I've started getting this question from teachers regarding the old math series and what your preference is with that. I did contact Follett just for informational purposes, explained what we had, didn't give them details, but they didn't seem particularly interested because the series is old enough. Okay, he said, you know, kind of, well, we could come take a look, but he wasn't jumping all over the idea. Okay, so in my opinion, I don't see saving them, but in the same sense, I'm not going to throw them away without your permission. And I don't know where I would store them, because teachers certainly don't have room in their rooms for them.
So you would like a consensus whether to dump or keep?
Yep,
Can you recycle?
we could certainly recycle, we have a recycle bin.
Well, could they be donated to like the children's center or someplace that could use them or something?
I could certainly look into that.
I mean, I don't know if they have someone that can maybe use them for teaching kids, I don't know, maybe they get stuff from United Way.
I don't think they really teach curriculum, but there's a lot of schools down south that need books
Yeah.
because they don't have any, so.
So are we okay to get rid of them now?
Yeah.
Well, we
Yes.
want them as a
But if we
temptation.
donate them, it's gonna be another governmental body.
What do you mean?
It has to be?
If we donate them.
Well, can we donate them, like, lots of times if you don't
Nonprofit.
donate them to other school districts, they'll even pay for them. They'll pay for, there's an agency out there, they'll pay for the shipping to that area. We don't pay shipping.
If I find somebody who wants them, we just put them out next to the dumpster and they come take them, and then we don't have to worry about it.
That's even better.
Okay.
I will do my best to find somebody that can use them. In fact, there's a couple of organizations that do some tutoring and offer it free to our students. One of them, you know, maybe they have a use for at least some of them.
Right,
Well, that's what I was thinking.
rather than just throw them away. Okay, you have a consensus to dispose of them, ever how you can figure out how to do it, okay?
Last thing, Mr. Johnson and I talked a little bit this morning about kind of doing something uniformly regarding suspension letters. And obviously the Senate Bill 100, we're probably not going to have as many suspensions, but there are certain things that need to be included in those suspension letters. So I have for you guys 2 sample letters. And these come from the IPA model handbook. I stole them from there, although I still keep wishing you'd buy it for me. It's a couple $100 subscription there.
Because I
I
asked.
hadn't asked.
Is that, I thought in the policy manual, we had example letters. In the new policy, I thought we had the example letters.
Of the suspensions.
Okay, so this is what you intend upon using?
Unless you would like it altered in some way, shape, or form, I thought we would clean it up, put it on our letterhead, get rid of the IPA logo on the bottom.
Sure.
But this has the stuff that we have to have in there.
By law, okay.
And one of them is short-term, 1 to 3 day, the other one is long-term.
4 to 7. Well, I'm thinking of it. This came up last year at the round tables. The teachers requested referral forms in triplicate, which Parkview has. Parkview has them. LaSalle couldn't get them or didn't have them. Could you check into that, Mr. Whiston, and see why we can't get in triplicate, I believe is what it was, and get them for both buildings? We've been trying to do that for a year.
I didn't realize Parkview ever had them in triplicate. Okay, and my understanding was Mr. Aldrich last year wanted to get everybody on the same page.
Right.
So we had one referral form, and then we could get a billion copies of it and split them between the buildings.
Right.
And not pay for 2 different
Right.
things. I didn't know
We
Parkview
never,
had them.
we never got that far.
Right.
So if you don't want to use Parkview's, I don't care who we use, we need to use the same ones and it needs to be in triplicate. So could we get that, maybe get that done?
I think one thing when we talk about triplicate, if I hear what I'm hearing, teacher gets a copy, parents get a copy, the office keeps a copy. And everybody's informed. What I like is still, those are good communication, not as good as the phone. At the junior high, those don't always get in the hands of the parents, I can guarantee you that. So I would recommend, even though you send that, phone calls are very good in the past, that's in my experience.
If we could work on that, we should, somebody. Okay. Is that all you have?
Steve, do you all have one that you can go by, or
Sure,
have you seen it?
we have some,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Maybe this week you and I could sit down with yours and mine and we can.
absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Okay, Dan Jerks is with us today, I hope I got his last name.
Jax,
Jax.
I hear it like 7 different ways.
Help us with your name again.
Jax.
Jax.
Yep.
Okay. And you don't have to speak, you don't have to have a formal report or anything, but glad to hear.
That's good,
I
that's
do
good.
know there's been a lot of discussion on special ed numbers, special ed teachers, special ed aides, so he was here to help us today. I know we sat out in this office for a while and talked for about a half hour, and then you went on your way to meet the principal, so.
Okay.
Did you have a good day?
Oh, yeah,
Good to have you here, nice to meet you.
thank you.
Administration's done. Committee reports. Mrs. Cagle, do you have anything on building and grounds? They're looking very nice, by the way.
Very nice, thank you, everyone. No, I do not. I do have something though that was brought up to me about the meter for the water meters that, I guess the water department is going to send us something that they're wanting to have the meters read on the outside of the building as opposed to having the people come inside. And they're willing to actually buy the meters for the school and have the will actually pay for the cost of having the plumber put that in, okay? And I said, don't just tell me, you need to send that to our superintendent and to the, school board president. So I just wanted to let you know that you're gonna be getting some type of email or something to that effect, okay? But I thought it was kind of interesting that they're willing to pay for
The meter
portion,
itself,
I guess,
yes.
or something to that effect, so I'll let you know about that.
Thank you.
Other than that, that's the only thing I have. So along with maybe having that plumbing one, maybe that can go in conjunction, or maybe it has nothing to do with that, so I have no idea.
Probably not.
Yeah, might not even go along with that.
Different part.
Okay.
I was gonna say something too, and Mr. Lewis said, I mean, gravel looks nice, looks great, and he's been doing it, but he was there this weekend. Power washing the whole building.
We
That's
also
okay.
saw
Just
him
the-
too,
just the-
yes.
Just the front side.
It looks really nice. But I wanted to bring up a parent, a couple of parents brought up a little bit of an issue, and I don't know if this is an issue, or it's just through the grapevine, so they don't know if it's an issue. But can you check to see if we have heat in the whole building?
They're already worried about
At the
heat?
south, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
More toward the kindergarten rooms.
Not turned on yet, but
Right, when it's turned on, make sure it's functioning properly, because there was rumor that there's no heat. And I'm just like, I think there is.
yeah.
So
Boilers are turned on, I think that might, yeah, be an
I just, my computer is heat down there, so. And do we have an early dismissal days? I might have missed that.
first 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yes.
just double checking.
And yes, several of us drove by and seen the superintendent out car washing. It was
Looks
very,
good.
very
It
nice,
looks
and
good.
it looks good, yes.
Well, thank you. I enjoy doing that, and good to see this one. Good. I've never, Don Bachler did say, I talked to him about the plants, and I said, Don, what do you think? He said, they need a good haircut. Cut about half of it off, and I said, Don, if I cut half of it off, in a month, they're gonna be back the same size, probably, but they just keep them with a haircut. It was starting to be a lot of maintenance. I know on the weekend you talked about, I told them I was gonna power wash the building and the sidewalks. Before I did that, I swept up about 210 pounds of rock, dirt, whatever, just, because the guy who tore out the bushes, I wanna give this guy a big pat on the back. Dave, somebody helped me. with
Borshite.
that. Dave Borshite charged us $0 for taking those bushes out. Now, the problem with the bushes, and he said up front, he said, I want you to know, I'll do it for nothing because you're in school. I'm like, gosh, I can't believe you're doing that. We need to send him a big thank you. But when he ripped them out, he said, now 2 things are gonna happen. It's gonna be very dirty. And he said, I'm gonna mark your sidewalks up with my Bobcat because I'm gonna be twisted a lot. And the sidewalks did get black when we power washed it, about 90% it went off. But remember what he said, it's gonna be dirty. And even after we got the plants in, there was the driveway, sidewalks, remember 3 bags of about 70 pounds apiece with dirt, rock. And so there, I don't know where that 210 pounds went, we threw it in the dumpster, but it's gone. It's no longer in the front of our building. And I think after I did that, the power washing became a lot easier. The 2 things I enjoyed power washing most were the 2 mats. There was one by each front door, and when I picked them up, I'm telling you, the dirt was about that high on the sidewalk. I don't know if they've ever been cleaned, but put them on the bicycle rack, spray them off. We got 2, you can go out there now, they're out there, they're still laying there on the bicycle racks, but they're clean. And I think just having the clean, I've had a lot of compliments that people are proud walking in the building. I think that's one thing when I came on here, we want pride in our buildings. You know, the custodian staff has done a wonderful job. And I want to thank the administrators. I know Mick was out there a couple days working. Appreciate that.
All right, policy, Mr. Giddens, are we ready to go for another round, or we're gonna wait?
Well, we haven't picked a day, it's not gonna be as lengthy as this last one. And there's another one that just came out, and let's see how thick that is. And I got logged in again finally today, because password changed, and now there's a whole new procedure logging in.
Okay.
The only comment that I got, if for policies number 7:200, and the exhibits are 7:200E1 and 7:200E2, It's probably the same forms that you got here, but if you would confirm them, because the board just approved those just a few months ago. We were trying to come in compliance with all the new state laws and regulations. So those 2 exhibits are in the board policy and they've been approved already.
Something under policy.
Okay.
At your next meeting, can you look at this? This is regarding something that we need for our technology. Mr. Wenderlin is going to address the staff, I believe, the opening day, and kind of go over the procedure when they bring their own computers in
Okay.
and everything. We need that
Right.
in policy. So that might give you a place to start.
Okay.
It's not that we aren't going to let anyone bring their own stuff in. It's just they need to run it through Mr. Wendell.
And that's pretty much.
Yeah, and that's what the policy needs to
Right.
say. Okay. Technology.
Mr. Wonderland came in and what email did I get us? A list of all the items that need to be disposed of. And if there's any way we could get a consensus to do that tonight, then it can be all cleared out by the time school starts.
One thing I noticed on there was $5 charge to recycle each one of the big TVs.
It's normal, unfortunately. But we had so many. You know, the Hope Chest might have taken 1 or 2, but 18, yeah.
Okay, Mr.
Kind of you're
McCormick.
looking to give us a face, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I'm
Is there anything wrong with the big TVs?
Just heavy.
They're not being used.
Here's my thing, we do the Christmas for the Needy, I know it's in a couple months, but we could offer them to the parents that come in and get Christmas gifts from us. The problem is gonna be storing them, I agree with you there. But man, just to throw them away, that's just crazy.
They're huge.
They're huge. I don't really
They're
know.
the tube TV, don't
They are huge.
Did
That's
they
why it's
ask
costing
them?
$5
Right,
Did they
that's why.
ask them just how many they will take?
But they work.
They will only take them if the VCR works, is that correct, Mr. McCormick?
That was my understanding, but I don't know that what the limit was, how many they.
Did you go and ask them?
Nope.
Okay, somebody needs to go ask them, I think they would take all of them if they work.
You wanna take care of that tomorrow?
I think, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
I've
you.
got a question for Mr. McCormick. Derek, there's 21 on here, and I know recently you asked about a couple teachers wanting to keep theirs.
That is correct, so I believe that number
Verify
actually
this
should be more
number.
like 16.
Okay.
So the number should be 16.
Is there anything else on here that either one of you see that you don't feel is accurate?
No, that was the only, yes, I have seen it.
Okay. So is the board comfortable with taking a consensus to have Mr. Wendelin come in and get stuff on the list minus the TVs if we can find other?
If they can find a home for him before he comes in, how's that?
Okay. Okay. Is that all right? Okay.
Okay, good with it?
Set them out, and we're setting them out though, right?
No, actually, somebody comes and takes them.
And we
No,
don't
they
pay,
A
don't
company.
pick them up.
we don't pay the $5 fee or something.
No, we do pay $5.
We will if the company comes and gets them, yes.
Okay,
The recycling company.
okay.
Okay, you have a consensus to take care of everything on Mr. Wendelin's list, one way or the other?
Yes.
Mr. Wendelin was in this morning, and I reminded him about the Saturday open picnic, welcome back, and he said never knew anything about it. Said like to have there, he's gonna be there.
Oh, great, that was nice.
Good, very good. Okay, we have nothing on the parent-teacher advisory yet. Are there any visitors wishing to address the board?
Me,
Mrs. Smallberger, what would you like?
I need to know who's coming and how many you're bringing to the picnic. I already know about you. Linda,
I don't know yet. Put down 2.
put down 2. Pam,
Probably one.
1. Val,
I didn't ask my husband, but I'll ask him.
so 2. Savannah,
Same here.
I think you already told me. You have 3 with your daughter, right? Randy,
2,
2. Brenda,
2.
2. And Catherine, 2. Cool, thanks guys.
Got
We
your-
have
Got
about
your
a-
administrators behind you?
I already have y'all, I already have about
It
100.
is 1.
1
Because I
o'clock.
thought.
1 o'clock, it's on the webpage at 12, but I figured those people that show up early can help me do all the setup, so I'm not gonna ever take it. Anyway, it says 12. So we have probably a little over 100 people that are coming,
Good.
so it'll be a good turnout.
What's the forecast?
Rain in the morning,
Good.
rain in the morning.
It's not gonna rain, I'm not paying attention to that. 83, it'll be good, nice and cool.
All right. We need a motion for executive session, please.
Make a motion to enter into executive session, for student matters of employment compensation, discipline, performance, and dismissal of specific employees of public body, collective bargaining matters between the public body and its specific representatives of its employees.
Second.
Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Cagle. Aye. Captain Megan.
Aye.
Valerie. Aye. Tyler.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. 10-minute break. Okay, we need a motion to resume regular session, please.
Make the motion to resume regular session.
8:47. We have a second. Roll call.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle. Aye. Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan. Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. In executive session, we did discuss personnel issues. Okay, we need a motion to hire administrator.
Make the motion to employ Don Bachler, Mr. Don Bachler, administrator as.
Assistant,
Oh, is this
administrative
assistant?
assistant, sorry.
Okay, I was like, why is
Yeah.
administrative assistant, sorry, on an as-needed basis for a salary of $26 per hour. Second.
I'm gonna make a quick comment. We previously hired him and the motion read substitute principal. Even, right, and he's been helping out with different things, with the schedule at Parkview. And he did the whole curriculum, so I thought we needed to change it. The $26 an hour is what he was making before, so, just to clarify,
Very reasonable.
yes. Roll call, please.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding resignations, please.
Make the motion to accept the resignation of Ashley Van Wheat, Brad Jokish, Corey Bannon, and Faith Ham, with regrets. Second.
Roll call when you're ready.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan. Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Motion carried. Need a motion regarding retirement letter.
Make the motion to accept the retirement letter from Margaret Schoenman with regrets. Second. Yeah, although I don't know if it's regrets because I would be happy to retire.
Good for her.
Yes, instead of saying how happy we are for her.
With congratulations.
Yeah, we should say that with
Yes, we should.
congratulations.
We'll change that motion for you.
Yeah, with congratulations. And we're hoping to get there one day.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion for recalls, please.
Make a motion to recall Sienna Engel and Rachel Bauer for the 2016-2017 school year. Second.
Roll call.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan. Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding the special ed teacher.
Make the motion to hire Candy Robeski as a special education teacher for the 2016-2017 school year. Second.
Roll call.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. There will be no action taken on L6. L7, motion to employ custodian.
Motion to employ Bobby Stewart as a full-time custodian. Second.
Roll call when you're ready.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan,
Aye.
Val Reagan,
No.
Tyler,
Aye.
Griner, aye, Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Motion for full-time substitute custodian, please.
Make the motion to employ Christopher
Ridenour.
Ridenour as a full-time substitute custodian. Do we do full-time substitute or just a substitute custodian? Hours
It
we
is
use
a
them.
full-time.
Okay. Well, it's not full-time because we're not hiring full-time.
It's 40 hours a week.
It's sometimes we might only need him 32. And we
Right.
keep him as a custodian. So why full-time? Just make it he's a
Substitute custodian.
Custodian.
Okay.
It should just be substitute custodian. We can work them up to 40 hours. If we do full-time, it's like we have to.
Okay.
You
That
can go
should do
over
it.
40.
Pardon?
You can go over 40.
Right. I would just say substitute.
Substitute custodian.
Pending background check.
That's for everybody we hire.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Who made the second?
I
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle,
Aye.
Catherine Reagan,
Aye.
Val Reagan,
Aye.
Tyler,
Aye.
Griner, aye, Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. L8, there will be no action taken tonight. Is there anything we've forgotten? And I will make the motion to adjourn at 9:53. 8:53, sorry.
Second,
I guess stay for an hour.
Roll call.
Giddens,
Aye.
Cagle, Catherine Reagan,
Aye.
Val Reagan, Tyler,
Aye.
Griner, aye, Bailey.
Aye,
We can discuss.
meeting adjourned.